Welcome to the Deep Dive. We take complex topics, things that make you think, and, well, we try to distill them into insights you can really use. Today, we're jumping into something pretty ancient, actually, a specific part of the book of Job, chapter 33. Now, this isn't just some old story. It's packed, really packed, with surprising ideas about how maybe a divine power communicates with us, and crucially, what purpose suffering might have. Our mission today, let's see if we can pull out some wisdom here that could, shift how we see hardship and maybe deepen our connection to something bigger.
Absolutely. This section of Job, it offers a really profound shift in perspective,
Yeah.
especially about those moments we often just don't understand. It helps us see maybe consistent care, a guiding hand, even when things feel incredibly difficult. It's about spotting messages that could be right there, sometimes in really unexpected places.
Okay, right. Let's unpack this then. We're stepping into this conversation with Elihu. He's a younger guy in the story of Job. And he steps in after Job's older friends have, well, kind of missed the mark, wouldn't you say? They mostly blamed Job for his immense suffering.
That's right. They offered pretty cold comfort. Elihu comes in promising to speak honestly from an upright heart, he says. He makes it clear, though, he's speaking for God, but he's also human, formed out of the clay, just like Job. So there's this humility there, too.
And he challenges Job. Job's been saying he's clean, innocent, and that God's basically treating him like an enemy.
He does, and Elihu starts with something really foundational, almost a first principle.
Which is?
Simply, God is greater than man, and importantly, this means God doesn't necessarily owe us an explanation for everything he does. Now, this isn't about God being distant. It's more about acknowledging our perspective is limited. It sets the stage, really, shifting focus from demanding answers to trying to understand the purpose.
Okay, that makes sense. A different framework. So if God doesn't have to spell everything out, how does he communicate with us, according to Elihu? Elihu says, God speaketh once, yea, twice, yet man perceiveth it not. We miss it. So what are these ways he speaks?
Well, what's fascinating is the variety Elihu points out. First, the perhaps gentler ways. Through dreams and a vision of the night, and deep sleep falleth upon men, those subconscious moments, slumberings upon the bed, times of quiet, maybe inspiration.
Okay, that sounds relatively straightforward. Dreams, insights.
But then he brings up something much tougher. He says God also speaks through pain upon his bed and strong pain in the bones. He describes physical decline, losing appetite, getting weak, even to the point where someone's life feels like it's hanging by a thread. His soul draweth near unto the grave.
Wow, okay. So suffering itself can be a form of communication. That's intense.
It is intense. But look at the purpose Elihu gives. It's to withdraw a man from his purpose, maybe a harmful purpose he's set on, and to hide pride from man.
Yeah.
Ultimately, it's to keep back his soul from the pit, to save him literally from destruction, both physical and maybe spiritual.
So it's not punishment necessarily, but correction, or even a kind of mercy.
Exactly. Think of it like a warning system. Discipline meant to protect us from something far worse. A wake-up call, redirecting us towards life, towards truth, towards getting back on track.
That reframe, seeing potential hardship as a guiding hand, that could really strengthen faith, couldn't it? Seeing God's love even in the tough stuff.
Absolutely. It encourages us to look for his purpose, even when we're uncomfortable, to trust his wisdom.
But Elihu doesn't just stop there. Identifying the issue and the difficult communication method, what about the response? What happens if someone listens to this correction, especially the one coming through suffering?
Right, he moves towards resolution. He introduces this idea of an intermediary, a messenger, an interpreter, one among 1,000. This figure's role is crucial to show unto man his uprightness, meaning perhaps God's standard or the right path, to help clarify the message.
An interpreter, like someone helping translate God's actions.
Sort of. And when this interpretation happens, or maybe when the person responds rightly, Elihu says God is gracious unto him. He says, deliver him. I have found a ransom. It signals God's immediate willingness to restore, his eagerness to show mercy once the message is well received.
A ransom, meaning a way out.
Yes, a way out provided by God's grace. And the result? It's described as total restoration. Miraculous, really. His flesh shall be fresher than a child's, returning to youthful vitality. He'll pray, God will be favorable, he'll see his face with joy. There's this renewed connection.
And there's also a more direct path mentioned, isn't there?
Yes, very directly. If someone simply acknowledges their error, saying, I have sinned and perverted that which was right, Elihu states God will deliver his soul from going into the pit, and his life shall see the light. It just underscores God's character. He's fundamentally gracious, restorative. His goal isn't just to point out flaws, it's rescue and renewal.
Understanding that. Wow. That could certainly encourage obedience, couldn't it? Knowing the end goal is always well-being, restoration.
Definitely. It shifts obedience from being about fear to being about trusting a loving purpose.
So bringing this forward thousands of years later, what does this mean for us, in our busy modern lives? How do these ancient ideas land today?
Well, the big question it raises for us right now is, are we actually listening? Are we attuned to God's voice, especially when it doesn't come in the ways we expect? Elihu shows God can use all sorts of things. Dreams, sure, but also hardships, maybe a conversation, an unexpected event to get our attention.
So staying spiritually alert, asking that question, okay, is God trying to communicate something to me through this situation?
Exactly that, being watchful. And that other point really resonates today, too.
The reframing of pain.
Yes, that idea that not all suffering is a penalty. Sometimes, maybe often, it could be God's mercy in a form we don't immediately recognize. A way to recalibrate our priorities, maybe. Or gently pull us back towards Him if we've drifted.
Being open to that possibility, it really could change how you experience challenges, couldn't it? And build trust.
It really could. Seeing His hand, His loving intention, even in discomfort, that builds a deep faith, a faith that naturally leads to wanting to align with His will, obedience born from trust.
And there's also a lesson in how Elihu speaks to Job, isn't there? For our own relationships.
Oh, absolutely. Elihu's approach, his model, it shows that honest conversation, even correction, it matters. But it doesn't have to be harsh or condemning. We can learn from that, can't we? How to speak truth to each other, but with respect, with humility, mirroring that redemptive approach God takes.
That's powerful. And one last point you mentioned from the passage.
Yes, this call to action almost. To be like that messenger, that interpreter Elihu described. We can be people who help others see God's mercy, who point towards that path of healing and restoration, reminding people there's always hope.
Being a messenger of hope, that step of helping others, it probably deepens our own faith too, right? And feels like a natural response, an act of obedience itself.
Precisely. It reinforces everything, our understanding, our trust, our desire to follow His lead.
Wow. Okay, what a deep dive today. We've really explored how this ancient passage shows God speaking in, well, so many ways. Often through things we might initially see as negative, like suffering, but always, always with this redemptive goal to bring us back, guide us, protect us.
Yeah, and getting that perspective, truly understanding it, it can change everything about how we face life's difficulties. It builds faith, encourages us to trust His will, knowing restoration is always His desire for us.
So for you listening, here's something to maybe reflect on, a final thought. Could a current hardship you're facing, something difficult right now, actually be God's way of guiding or protecting you? Could it be His grace, just in disguise?
Lowe's knows how to help make your home holiday ready for less. Get Select Style Selections vinyl flooring for just $1.99 per square foot and have it installed before the festivities begin. Our team can help you every step of the way. See a Lowe's Red Vest associate or visit Lowes.com/holiday install to get started. Lowe's, we help, you save. Basic install only. Date restrictions apply. Subject to availability. Installed by independent contractors. See associate for details. Contiguous U.S. only.